So I'm getting ready to share with you what I did to decorate some cardboard boxes, you guys. The only one that I do not have some details on is this white box that I used white glossy contact paper for the outside, and on the inside I used a decorative contact paper, and then on the very top of the box I used a black nylon cord around the top of it. I'm going to begin with a box that we had no lid for, and I needed one. This box that we received some items in was perfect for it. I started with putting the box top over the existing box to see how much I needed to cut away in order to make a nice size box. So you see me cutting away the flaps, and then what I did is I went into the corner of the box and cut off a flap, which I then used, and as you see, I'm placing it right at the edge there and pushing it in so that it will now fit more appropriately for a box top. I'll place the lid on the box again, making sure my lid is the right size. Once it is, I'll secure that spot or that placement with a glue gun, and then I can go ahead and cut off the excess. Remember guys, measure twice, cut once. So I did that, and that left me with my box top. Now you don't have to shore up or double up on your box, but I always do with mine to make sure that it's really sturdy and it will last for a good while. So to make my box top sturdier, all I'm going to do is add an extra layer of cardboard all the way around the top and the sides. On the corners as well as the extra layer of cardboard, I used my Sure Bonder glue gun. Now my imperfect box top is now set for me to go ahead and decorate. You know me by now, I have some scrap material that I decided to use. I didn't want this brown material, so I am going to choose to paint it later. Also, I did not have enough material to cover around the sides of the box, so I also had some leftover vinyl, which I will use to go around the sides, attaching it with that Sure Bonder glue gun. And as I'm about to show you, I did overlap or wrap the underside of the box lid just so that the edges of it can be finished with the vinyl. So when your box is off by millimeters, that is one of the reasons why I tend to use textured fabric or has some considerable thickness to it, because it will hide some of those discrepancies. Now moving on, my lines that I use from the scrap material, I did not have a complete piece, so that's why I chose to do it in strips. I wasn't perfect with it, and I wasn't able to getting towards the end anyways. So I also further used some rope to go over those just to try to even it out a bit more. Now again, this is not for someone else that I'm doing for a gift or whatnot, so I don't care about perfection. I'm going to use some folk art chalk paint in white, and then I also have apple barrel multi-surface paint in a dark gray. So I'm going to mix those two together and come up with a hint of gray. Now I wasn't sure how these different sources of paint would work, but then I remembered I did try it on a slightly different texture, and I thought, why not? And it worked out wonderfully. Turned out I only needed 2 coats of this. As you can see, this paint is very rich. It does cover over a lot. So I, for the most part, will probably do 2 coats, but it really isn't necessary. So as I stated before, to cover up imperfections, another way to do that is to do borders on your boxes. I have a 1/4 inch nylon rope that I am going to do just that. And I'm once again, you guessed it, am I gonna do that? I'm gonna attach this using my Sure Bonder glue gun. Okay, so I've used the nylon roping on the top or applied it. Now I'm going to apply it on the corners and the sides. For these next two boxes, I have decided to use the double-sided tape in conjunction with the glue gun. I found that it worked best. I am going to show you the process of making the boxes, and I had to shore up this one, by the way, because it was a bit wonky, so I did line it with another layer of cardboard inside of this box as well. And typically I do that with all the boxes. It will make for a sturdier box when you're also needing it for storage. When I'm using a material to cover my boxes, my preference is to meet at the corners for my seams than in the middle of the sides of the boxes. So obviously, in conjunction with the double-sided tape, I take the hot glue at the corner and mesh those ends together. Once the glue cools, I'll go ahead and snip off the excess material, and there my corner is complete. Now, when it comes to this box, I did fold the material down. I snipped the corners or the ends at a diagonal and then simply just glued that flap down. Here's Baby Box. Now Baby Box did not have the material folded over the tops, over the rim like the previous box. I took just rope and went double with it at the top, and that's it. So I've been waiting to get some more cardboard so that I can make lids for them. So let's go ahead and get to the lid part. Felt is still a relatively inexpensive item that I choose to place on the bottom of my boxes. And all it takes from time to time is a little bit of masking tape or lint remover just to get any type of debris that sticks on from time to time. And also it's forgiving in that when you're trying to apply it, you can actually stretch it a little bit to make it fit on the area that you need to apply it on. So for the Mama Box lid, all I did was use the same material as I did for the body of the box. And then I alternated the black and white nylon rope around the sides of the box. What do you think? Not bad, huh? Now I wanted to get to the baby box because I did have to do some changing for my lid. So let's go ahead and get to it. So let's get into the dilemma that I had with the baby box. My box lid was too big. So what I did was I placed the actual box, baby box, upside down into the lid. I used some scrap cardboard, which I have evenly spaced with some objects on top of that lid on the bottom. And I affixed it with a glue gun once I got everything in place. And then I was able to take that box out of the lid upside down and then cut away those flaps. So that way, when I place my lid, it wouldn't be lopsided on top of the box. Let me go ahead and show you what I mean. Now, as you can see, this is the box top. I still haven't finished putting the roping and the other material, such as this, around the lid, because I'm not there yet, but I had to fix the solution of the lid being a little bit big. So this is underneath, and this you will not see. I'm going to cut this away now, but first I'm going to remove the box out of it. I'm taking the box out of it, which creates the hole. And get all of these things that I use to kind of makeshift a space. And so now this creates the opening or the top of the box. But what I have also created is to space off and even out the lid for the box to be accommodated. So let me show you what I mean. I have my box, and then what I'm going to do is be able to easily place the lid over, and it's spaced. Now, if you can see that, It's evenly spaced and it kind of just looks like it has a flanged box lid top. So by using that extra cardboard and creating a flange that goes to the inside of the box lid, created a form-fitting top for the baby box. I did not have enough of the placemat material. I only had enough to do this strip and then a strip around the box side, or the box sides, that is. And then, of course, I went in and used my black and white nylon rope around the box as well as a little bit more of the sweater on the bottom of the box as well. And I did overlap and go underneath, so it gives it a clean edge. Baby box is on the top and the mama box is on the bottom.
Kid with the zapper in your craft room. He was like, what? I think it was the same kind of spider, to be quite honest. Maybe it was.
Why are you messing with me? I'm trying to still not have a shaky hand.
They look good.
Wow.
Sorry. Yes, I'm not like, okay, I had maybe one too many ginger chews. So.
The last box here was sent to me by a sibling. I loved the color of the fabric and I hated the fact that I could not remove the stains. It was in storage for quite some time. So I opted to paint it with the paint that I show you on the video here. And I also had to change out the tassel once I did that because it no longer obviously would match, and just did a blue bead with wire wrapping on it to finish it off. And then to complete it, I used the Mod Podge hard surface or hard coat finish. With the exception of a thin layer of foam, this box is all cardboard as well. Let me know which box you guys like best. Now, if you guys have hung around this far in my video, I appreciate you guys. My sibling always says, I'll give you my money before I give you my time, because I know it is non-refundable. That's something you can't get back. So I really hope that you felt that this was a good investment of your time and even possibly giving you some ideas. Consider when you do these boxes, because the ones that I did with all cardboard, the way I did the tops, if it was even a bigger box, it would serve well for just having a little tabletop by putting a plexiglass piece on top of it. But that's enough for now. You guys stay safe and healthy as possible. And again, thank you for your time. Bye-bye.